up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, honey. We are down here to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. Shout out to Funky Dineva. To Potomac. We're talking about Potomac tonight. Or this morning. It was a good episode. I don't know what the fuck they got going on, but it's reminding me of school days. It's reminding me of school days. The WannaBe's are really messing with. I don't like the word for the dark skinned girls on school days. I'm not gonna call Wendy. I'm not gonna call Wendy and Candiace that, but the WannaBe's, we can call them the WannaBe's because that's what's happening on this show. And I see that Deborah, Ashley's friend, I don't know if Deborah knows that Ashley is using her as a scapegoat, because I don't think that Deborah would lie on Chris Bassett. I don't think so. I don't think that she would be in on this. I don't think so. I was like, did she just do that? Did she just lie on her friend? She said Deborah told her the day before, right? So based on the way that the conversation happened between Deborah and Ashley, when they showed the flashback of her saying, "Are you going to invite Candiace?" It doesn't seem like, after being in proximity to Chris, that according to Gizelle, when she went into the bus where Robin was waiting, she thought she flexed and thought she left, but the Uber was still 30 minutes out when they got back outside after going off. But Gizelle in the van says that Chris propositioned and rubbed on Deborah's ass, on her butt. This was after she had a conversation with Candiace and told Candiace it wasn't true what she was doing, because Candiace accused her of waiting to get on this platform to do and say this because she knows that it would be hurtful to somebody who has only been kind to her. And then Gizelle, after that conversation, Gizelle hops on the bus and says that Chris propositioned, that's what I heard her say. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. Propositioned and touched Deborah. Now, I don't know if inside of the winery they cut that part out, because all we were able to hear Ashley say is that he was flirting with her. I don't know if Deborah has gone onto the blogs and confirmed that happened, or that someone is using her as a scapegoat in a storyline to create this narrative that Chris is getting too comfortable around the women. Now, we have said time and time again that Chris Bassett wants to be everybody's friend. Shout out to Rodney the Voice. He calls him Mr. Congeniality. He wants to be everybody's friend. He wants to be cool with everybody. And we've been telling Chris that he needs to stop doing that, especially to the women who seem to have a problem, a latent underlying problem with his wife. You show those bitches no love. And that's how I feel. And we've been saying that about Chris, that he keeps doing these things, and now it's done got him in this mess, right? I bet he has learned his lesson now. I bet you have, huh? I bet you learned your lesson now, Chris. Candiace lets it be known that Ashley's ex-husband, Gullum Darby, has hired a high-end escort, and they mention this man's name several times, and that, he gets his dick sucked by this man. And so That was it. She was smiling and laughing. Candiace said, I was holding on to that. I love, Ashley says she doesn't believe her anyway, even though Robin says, yeah, she told me about that a couple of years ago or a year ago or something like that. She already told me about that. So they're talking about you. You saw how Ashley was looking when Gizelle kept saying the guy's name in the scene, right? Gizelle is doing those things on purpose. She thinks it's really funny. Um, and I think due to the halo effect, nobody touches Gizelle. They feel like she's untouchable. I'm waiting for someone besides Karen to really fall out with Gizelle, because the way she was in that clothing store with Ashley, and they were repeating on camera what Candiace had just said. Now, if this was your homegirl for real, you'd kind of be a little kind of like talking code. Like, girl, he said, but Gizelle was very like open and repeating this man's name. She said that Michael was getting his dick sucked by blankety blank. And then Robin's like, yeah, she told me that a couple years ago. And Ashley's just standing there. Oh, I don't care. Yes, you care. You care. Because if you didn't care, then you would not be trying to retaliate against Candiace and say, how does that feel when the pendulum swings back and forth, or whatever she said? Because you did it to get back at her. You did it to say, how does that feel? I'm doing the same thing you did to me. Even though she kind of, had a little more decorum. We know you're from underneath a freeway in a tent, so you probably don't know that you're not supposed to do those things, but you did it anyway. You get a joy out of it. When she was downstairs, like, you're like a little punk, right? You're downstairs stealing the room announcement, Candiace's room announcement, to see who she's in a room with. She steals it and tries to hide it back. It's like, and what are you doing that for? You're doing that to see what? What are you trying? You're trying to see where Candiace is going to be. Candiace is in the room with Wendy, sharing one bed. The way that the rooms were given out, I feel, was shady. I felt it was intentional. And Mia did that on purpose. So we're going to see how that's going to turn out for her. We see, I don't know, I did see they had a slow motion shot out to OMFG Reality. The Joey down there had a slow mo of the, looked like Mia hit Wendy with her pocketbook. So everybody is calling for the same response that they had to Monique with the sit down and the security and all of that stuff. Everybody wants to know if that's going to happen next. Will Mia be treated the same way that Monique was treated? As she has now gotten physical and been in these kind of aggressive physical type of back and forths with several of the women. This is the second time she's done, she got into Wendy's face. Remember when she was like, what if I do this in my face, in my hands in your face now? What if I do this? Didn't she do something like that last season or something? So we saw her at the end of the episode throw a drink on Wendy. Mia seems to be upset with Wendy because Wendy kind of dismisses her. I think Wendy is condescending to her. I don't think that Wendy respects Mia. She probably sees her as like, girl, whatever. Like, you think you a boss. You're not really a boss, honey. This man has given you all of these things and lets you put on a blazer and play CEO, my dear. But it's really not giving. But anyway, I think that's her problem with Wendy, and I think her giving her the room. I think Charisse, she did the same thing to Charisse. I felt like she played Charisse. Charisse thought she was going to have a good room with a bathroom and this and that. Charisse was like, I'm going to a hotel. I thought it was, I think it's, do you think that it's a coincidence that everybody that is darker than a paper bag is being treated poorly? And I'm the only one that thinks there's a coincidence to that. Charisse gets a weird room. Wendy and Candiace got a share room. Everybody wants to know, will Mia be called to the carpet the same way Monique was called to the carpet? I'm interested in seeing that too. Candiace and Gizelle go outside have a conversation. Um, she said she didn't want to interject in the thing with Ashley, but you love for Ashley to do your work for you. But when it's Ashley, you sit back and you watch and listen, and then get into the clothing store and repeat it, like the whole rumor, like repeat the man's name and say what he was doing to this lady's ex-husband. But whatever. But you like him though, right? Um, I need to make sure I understand how you were feeling. You said you were feeling uncomfortable. What made you feel uncomfortable? This man doesn't belong to me. Apparently Jamal didn't either, but we're going to keep going. And neither did, what was the other guy's name? Rufus. They brought his wife on the show. Monique brought his ex-wife on the show. What was his name? Columbus? I don't know. I wanted to go outside. He suggested we go back to the room. Now, she suggested they go back to the room. He said we should leave the door open. Gizelle said she didn't do that. Gizelle's lying because Gizelle in the previous story said that she went back to the room because she thought she thought Cal was going to be there, because you don't have any glam. You have Cal. You have Cam. That's Cal. You don't have. If you do, they all need to be fired. Let me see what else I got here. Do you believe that he had malintent? Do you believe that he was intending to do something wrong? You could have called me. She tried to bring the other ladies. The ladies don't feel comfortable with Chris. You waited until you got on this platform to deliver this in the most hurtful way to someone who's been never been anything but kind to you. She says, you're the reason women don't come forward. No, not really, Candiace. She's the reason why people don't believe women when they come forward. That's how that goes. Right? What? Oh my gosh, are you saying that yeah, you're the reason why people think that women are lying when they come forward. That's how that should have gone, Candiace. Right? Because you're sitting up here saying that you felt a way in being in a room with Chris because he wasn't your man, and that you didn't want anybody to say anything. Do you want to leave the door open? Do you want to speak in the hallway? But he didn't do anything. He didn't say anything. He didn't do anything. But you felt uncomfortable. As a woman in a room with another man with nobody there, yeah, you have the right to feel uncomfortable about that scenario. But he didn't do anything to make me uncomfortable. I was just uncomfortable because we were in a room together, and I don't want anybody to think anything because he's a married man and I'm a single woman. That's how that should have gone. But y'all making it seem like Chris was in there like, hey, baby, and whipped his dick out or something. No, it's okay for her to be like, I felt uncomfortable because he's married, I'm single. A man and a woman should not. I mean, that's like, to me, I feel like society knows that. I feel like that's a social etiquette. A man and a married man and a single woman should not be going in a room alone without a third party there, because anything can happen or anyone can say anything. But if he didn't do anything and he didn't say anything, you were really uncomfortable with being in the room with him. He didn't make you uncomfortable. You were uncomfortable just being alone in a room with Chris because he's a married man, not because Chris did anything to you. But it's just socially unacceptable, and you don't want to be caught in no line of fire like that. I felt like she could have said something like that and it would have made it been like, okay, I get what you're saying. But you're saying Chris made you uncomfortable. But he didn't do anything and he didn't say anything. That's why people don't believe women when they come out, because people make shit up like this and create a narrative when this guy didn't really do anything. You just don't want to be in a room alone with a married man. And that's okay and understandable. But she said she was an evil see you next Tuesday, honey. Yeah, he's never been anything but kind to you. Ashley is vindictive. Ashley says, I don't want to be called vindictive. You're vindictive because you said, how does it feel, right? It was important to tell her. I really feel like Deborah was used as a scapegoat, and I'm waiting for Deborah to come out and be like, I didn't say that. And I feel like, I don't care how close you are to Ashley, if that happened, I'm waiting for Deborah to confirm that she had that experience with Chris, or that Ashley is using her as a scapegoat. Because you wouldn't be able to use me as a scapegoat in a storyline to create a narrative that this man is being too comfortable with these women. You're not going to be able to use me for that. I'm sorry, I have a reputation. You're not going to be able to lie on me. So I'm waiting for Deborah to come out to let us know what's happening. Gizelle goes back into the bus and says to Robin that Deborah said that Chris propositioned her and felt on her butt. And I just said to myself, this is a pack of liars. This group of women are a pack of liars. And it's really getting weird because it's like, I just feel like you guys are playing these games where you're just lying on people. And it's not like, that's why I really wish that Monique would have directed her anger and hostility and rage at the correct person. I feel like I know that she knows that she fucked up. And I know that she tells Chris, I should have beat that bitch's ass, not Candiace. And it would really just be the icing on the cake that Monique would come out and be like, you know what? Candiace, I'm really sorry that happened between us. I targeted the wrong person. I should have beat Giselle's ass. I really wish that Monique would come out and admit that, but she can't. It's just too much pride there. But if you notice in the next scene, Ashley goes to this law office, right? And the law office, she has on the same color blazer that Candiace had on at the winery, except for it didn't have any sleeves. You thought it was going to be cute. You thought you was going to be able to rock it the way Candiace did. Good thing you don't get paid to think. Okay? Girl, she wants to start the process without an attorney. The woman said he's a primary source of income. She says she wants to give him the benefit of the doubt. The lady tells her it's not a good idea to buy a house together at this time. Ashley moves like a woman in survival mode, like her Heartbreakers 2.0 when she was running around taking that Candiace's invite out of the little gift bag that she had at her room notification or whatever. She was sneaking around. I said, oh, she's used to this, sneaking around. Heartbreakers 2.0. Sheila done taught you well, honey. Sneak, laughing and stuff. I said, look at this bitch. Look at her ass. Look at her go, honey. The lady told her it's not a good idea to buy the house together, and she gonna do what she want to do. I don't give a fuck what happens to Ashley, quite frankly. I think she just wants to be able to have some type of security. You didn't went through all of this. You didn't let this crypt keeper climb on top of you and inject his ghost sperm into your uterus. So you want something out of it. So she's trying to get this house, and that's the last thing she needs to get. Because after she done walked into Candiace's house, bitch, she gonna do anything. It's single. It's giving single white female. It really is. When I saw that bitch hit the corner and she had on the same blazer, sleeveless, same color blazer, but sleeveless, walking down that hallway looking like SpongeBob. I said, oh, single white. She's giving single white female. She is. And you don't let this bitch in your house. Candiace gonna learn. Mia said that she loves Charisse. Every time she sees her, it looks like her eyelashes are sliding off her face. Bitch. Bitch. Charisse asked her how's her health. She says it's a lump, but it doesn't, I guess it doesn't have anything wrong. It's benign, I guess. There's nothing wrong with it. And so she's not going to take it out right away. I don't know. I think that Mia is a liar. So things that she say, I just be like, oh, okay, girl. I don't believe it. Nothing. Jacqueline's mother fostered Mia, so they're like sisters. They say they're like sisters. She asked her why she didn't like Wendy, and basically because Wendy is probably talks to her like she's dumb. So I think that's why she doesn't like her. They showed a montage. They showed a montage of it, and I was like, that's why she doesn't like her, because Wendy talks to her like she's fucking stupid. And well, let's leave that up to y'all. Um, Eddie and Wendy are having a conversation, and she says that she's going to put the Nigerian spot on pause because she has been taking on too much. And Eddie's like, I'm glad that you realize that. She says she wants to appreciate the things that she has. It just feels like she's just trying to check things off, just accomplish, 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 and not really enjoy those things, right? Gizelle and Robin go to they're picking out clothes. They're getting ready for their Miami trip. Um, I guess Chris is tweeting, defending himself, and they have a problem with it. He's saying things about the women on his tweets. I don't know why they have a problem with that, but if you can talk about me and say things about me, I can defend myself, and I can go to social media and defend myself. I can defend myself anywhere I want to. You don't get to attack me and try to create a narrative about me and me not turn around and defend myself. You have a lot of nerve getting mad at me defending myself. Girl, you shouldn't have done what you done, then I wouldn't be down here. If you didn't do what you did, I would not be down here defending myself against some narrative that I'm being inappropriate with you hoes. Chris, I bet you learned your lesson. Candiace and Chris, they learned their lesson, didn't they? Huh? Being the welcoming committee to all these bitches. Y'all learn. Ashley's caught in another lie about the LLC. She said, yeah, they made an offer on the house under the LLC, and then she shares with Gizelle and Karanika that there is no LLC, and he got mad and said, why would you think I would create something and without your knowledge or whatever? And they were like, wait a minute. I said, why they just lying and lying and lying and lying? It's like, it's weird. It's just like a bunch of liars on this show. It's so weird. I thought y'all had one already. She was like, no, I was just under the assumption that it had been made. So when you made the offer on the house, you were under the assumption that the LLC had been created. So who made the offer? Who told the people to make the offer? Did the real estate agent? Is that where you got that from? Like, oh, it's all taken care of? Girl, a mess. Yeah, she told me about that 2 years ago. That's when Gizelle like repeated the rumor, including the man's name. They keep bleeping out, putting little cherry blossoms over their mouths, child. It's a mess. Yeah, high-end escort that Michael had service from. Yeah. I don't believe it still. Not putting it past Michael. That's what Gizelle and Robin said. And that was the end of that. Karen is 59. They're going to Miami. They're on their way to Miami. In Mia's car, there is the first round draft pick. And then they were like, well, Robin's not in here. And then she's like, we only have 4 seats. And then Gizelle was like, true. Did you hear that? They didn't have Gizelle on camera, but I heard her dialogue in that. I was like, okay, I girl, and I feel sorry for Robin. Like I said on Twitter last night, you're the brolic bulldog, aggressive ass bulldog follower. That's what you look like. You look like, what do they call it? Like, oh, not a bulldog. What do they call it? Like when they say the people are bringing security with them, but the security is not smart. Like you're like, you're aggressive. You get in people's faces. They're posting it online, honey. The pattern of behavior and her not being reprimanded like the other women, and Candiace doing much less than that and being called much worse, and Wendy not doing as much and being called much worse. And everybody doesn't seem to think that this woman is a thug and that she's aggressive, but we do have evidence to show that there is some characteristics of a thug, maybe thug adjacent, you want to call that, because you do have a shirt that says classy with a side of hood, right? So are we getting to see the side of hood? Is that what we get to see, Robinika? Karenika? Is that what we get to see? Um, let's see. The tip of the top. I don't know what Wendy was talking about. The tip is at the top. The tip can be at the bottom too. The bottom tip, the top tip, tip top. Okay. Okay. She said the professor and me. Okay. They were like, is it going to be smaller houses? They were like, this is some bullshit. I can go to a hotel, this and that, right? Gizelle wants to add to her group of men. She says she wants a younger boy. Y'all need to be careful about the way you talk about things. Why don't you just say a younger man? Why do you say, I don't know, y'all weird as fuck. I was like, these bitches is weird. She wants to add to her lineup. I guess she has a team, Gizelle, and she wants to add a young boy, not a young man, but a young boy to her lineup or whatever. They said this is not South Beach. Did you see how they pointed? They was like, this is not South Beach. The house was cute. The rooms were just okay. But again, they gave Wendy the worst room. And then when everybody kept asking, where's Candiace's room? Who's Candiace's room? She was like, she'll find out. She'll find out. Mia's room was really, really nice. Sharice's room did not have a bathroom, so she was upset about that. And then Ashley went downstairs to grab the room notice so they can see what Candiace. She ran upstairs like, yours. Like, I was like, they are really acting. But like I always say, like the way that women act in their groups together, if they're like it's the same way as junior high school. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. And especially if you have women who peaked like in their college years, they're going to still bring that energy wherever they go. Right. I really think it's messed up that Wendy and Candiace and I really think that it's messed up. And I think that for people who are denying that it is what it is, I feel sorry for your mother, because I don't think that you cannot deny what we're seeing on the screen. I think it's unfortunate. I think that this show really could have been like, I was talking to Nate the other day about how Ebony, her addition to New York was really like a fail. That should have never happened. She should have never been added to that dynamic of women, to that friend group, and how she would have been more suited for the Potomac cast, right? These women, some of them are educated, some of them are housewives, some of them are, young, and they could have really done well. I know it's okay it's natural, the conflict. We watch to see the conflict, to see how they're going to resolve the conflict. But a lot of this conflict is unnecessary. It's not natural conflict. So it doesn't make the show fun to watch. It really doesn't make it fun to watch, because it's like, we're seeing these women being mistreated. And it's like, for what? Like, what's the conflict? What is your problem with these women? What have they done to you? Right? This thing, like, they want Wendy to take accountability for what? Defending herself last year when you tried to say that the reason why she got her body done is because her husband had a baby on her. So after she cusses y'all asses out and drags y'all down the street and back and forth, buries you, has a repast, goes back to the graveyard, exhumes you, drags your ass around the cemetery and buries you again, now y'all got a problem with it? And it's so crazy how then they're like doing the same thing. They're doing this thing to Chris, and then they're mad because Chris is online defending himself and talking. Now it's all of a sudden, oh, men shouldn't be talking to women. No, you're talking about me. You're saying things about me that are untrue, and they're untrue. And why are you doing it again? Like, and like I said, if they don't want these women on the show, I don't know what y'all gonna end up like Dallas. Y'all gonna end up like Dallas, because it's not fun to watch. It really isn't. It's not. It's like they're being mistreated. I feel like Candiace is being mistreated. I feel like Wendy is being mistreated, and it's for nothing. And then Robin, like, then Cherise saying that Robin didn't touch Robin. It's like, why are you lying? It's just like, and why again? Because they defended themselves. So you should be able to talk shit about me, say that I got my body done because my husband is cheating on me, and I'm not supposed to defend myself while you over there in whatever you got going on over there with Juan. And Gizelle, whatever the hell you got going over there with whoever your team, and y'all want to come for me, and it's every season. It's every season. It's either Karen and Ray, it's either Monique and Chris Samuels, it's either Eddie and Wendy, and this year it's Candiace and Chris, and it's like the same thing every year, and it's always just Gizelle and Ashley, and then the oompa oomph Karen Nika, this big brolic ass following ass bully. It's like, girl. And it's so unbecoming. It really is. You sitting up there with your red hair with these chunks in it. Who are y'all? Who are y'all? Like, ugh. So musty. So musty. Y'all not showing up as your best selves in this season. All of y'all, like I said last season, I said at the beginning of the season they started off with A's. Karen Nika and Gizelle have been suspended. They've been suspended. Stewie, she been suspended. She's been suspended. She can't come back. Karen, she's staying on the outskirts. Mia, girl, gone. She been suspended. She got to go to the continuation school down the street. Yeah, all of y'all getting F's and suspended and getting kicked out. Because y'all are, and it's for no reason. It's like, for what? Like, why don't you like? And then like really like making something up. Like Chris needs to apologize for Gizelle being uncomfortable in a room with him. But he didn't do anything and he didn't say anything. She was just really uncomfortable because she doesn't want to be in a room alone with a man and not a third party. Okay, everybody gets that. But you're trying to make it seem like he needs to apologize and he needs to do this. And then you run outside and get on the bus and say that he propositioned Deborah and felt on her butt. Y'all whack. Y'all are whack. And it's tired. It's so through. And it's delayed. It really is. So whatever y'all want to do. What did y'all think of the episode? Let me know what y'all think. Take care of each other and protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.